Kicking off the weekend is Tottenham at home to Brentford. Obviously, Spurs had another disappointing afternoon at Villa. Brentford, a really tough opponent for most teams.
Yeah.
Maybe Europe's just a bit out of reach for them, but yeah, how do you see that one going?
The tactics of Thomas Frank has a lot to do with the success of Brentford. Obviously, they have good players, but I think that tactically they're very, very good, and he's very good. So I think that wins the game for them. So I'll say 2-1.
Next, Bournemouth against Man United. Bournemouth safely going to be playing Premier League football next season. Brilliant season for them. United still have a bit to go for, obviously needing to secure fourth. Do you think that'll give them the edge?
Yeah, I'm going to see United winning this game. Say 2-0. Like you said, the objective for Bournemouth was to stay in the league. They've done that.
Fulham against Crystal Palace, 10th against 12th. Overall, Fulham enjoying the better season, obviously, but Palace are in great form under Roy Hodgson. It's quite a tough one to call, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's why I'm going to say a draw, to be fair. Again, both teams doing what they set out to do, and that's stay in the league. Fulham, like you said, better season earlier, achieved that goal earlier than Fulham. Derailed a little bit when the madness in the cup at Old Trafford, but I think this game plays out in a draw, so I'll say 2-2.
Next up, it's Liverpool against Aston Villa. Liverpool obviously winning 7 in a row, as we've mentioned, go for the top 4 place. Villa have still got a chance of Europe themselves. Can Unai Emery's men leave Anfield with anything?
Yeah, I think the way Liverpool are playing is there's still question marks over them in terms of they could concede. They are playing with a lot more confidence and belief, but so Aston Villa. My heart's saying 2-1 Villa, but my head's saying 3-1 Liverpool. So I'll go with my head and say 3-1 Liverpool.
Next up, Wolves against Everton, 2 of your old clubs, obviously. Much bigger for one of them, Everton. A win at Wolves would go a long way to sealing their Premier League status, I guess. Do you think they can do that?
I don't know. I did the game at the first Tigers game at Goodison. They got something at the game, but you could see he was very astute and obviously analysed the game very clear and very good and very fast, which is key. I'm going to say Wolves win this. I see, for some reason I just see Wolves playing away, believing how they're playing or being asked to play. So I'll say 2-1 Wolves.
Next up, Nottingham Forest at home to Arsenal. Arsenal obviously not much hope of the title anymore. They'll still be determined to finish strong, but a trip to the City ground's never easy, especially if Forest side fighting for their lives.
This is a real tough game for Arsenal because the reality of the league before the title push is over. They need a kind of a semi-miracle now in regards to that. And this isn't an easy place. Their home form's been good, especially against the top teams. The crowd get right behind them, so it wouldn't surprise me if they drop more points. I'm going to say 1-1.
Then on to Sunday, we've got West Ham at home to Leeds. Obviously, Big Sam's battle to keep Leeds in the Premier League is continuing at former club West Ham. You'd have to think they'd have to win this one to stand a chance.
Yeah, I think they do. And this is part of the reason why I think it stays the same, because I don't see them winning. I see West Ham winning 2-1. Again, just West Ham are probably one of the teams or the clubs used to just being safe and still performing. I think you'll find clubs that are reach their goal, or whether that's to stay in the league, and then can not down tools but just relax a little bit. Where I don't think West Ham do that. I think they may have inconsistencies throughout the season, but when it's obtain their goal, they still carry on and perform, and they're still liable to win. So I'm going to say West Ham 2-1.
On Sunday as well, Brighton against Southampton. Brighton will be favourites for this one, you'd think, against relegated Southampton. But sometimes you see with relegated teams that they play with a bit more freedom after it's confirmed. Could you see that happening at all?
Yeah, sometimes that happens, but not so much. Not so much with Southampton. Still very young, so I think it'll still hit quite hard in terms of the relegation. So, yeah, I'm going to say Brighton 3-0.
And the final game of Sunday is Manchester City against Chelsea. City in great form, going for another Premier League alongside all their other exploits. Do a disjointed Chelsea stand any real chance in this game?
Yeah, potentially. We've got a good player, so it could be tight. But like you said, the way City are playing, Being at home, I don't see anything other than a City win. So I'm going to say 3-0 Man City.
Final game of the weekend is on Monday night. Newcastle at home to Leicester. Big game for both teams. Obviously, Newcastle determined to keep hold of their top 4 place. Leicester, absolutely must-win game for them.
With so much at stake for both teams, it's going to be tight. There's pressure. And I just see that the home factor being the key. So I'll say 3-1 Newcastle.